Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? So I'm just gonna have a little fun with this. Is yesterday? So I got home from the daddy-daughter dance at my daughter's elementary school, and I had my dress shirt on, and then I took my pants off because they were like wool. Now I got my long johns underneath, and then I came downstairs. I'm like, well, the camera can only see like my upper body. So let me just do my Facebook Live thing that I'm gonna do, and I just recorded a video, and then I was thinking, oh man, that was pretty cool. I don't even have to get dressed, and I can make money from the internet, and many a time I've consulted with clients while I'm sitting in front of my computer. I use voice over IP a lot, and I have fun with it. So yeah, this is the Pants or No Pants live call-in show. There's actually my cell phone number directly there. If you do call in, you'll actually get on the line. We could talk about things: insurance, family, sports, food, restaurants, whatever it is. We just have a good time. Just having some fun, talking about different topics. If you want to post in the comments any questions, you're a little shy, you don't want to come online with the voice, that's totally all right as well. But we're just gonna have some fun. Again, so today, my voice is a little bit weird because I think I come down. I didn't get enough sleep this week, and I started getting a little bit sick. So I had some Vietnamese pho, and I don't know about you, but when you're under the weather, a big monstrous bowl of soup, there's nothing like it, and it just started to clear me up, and I put a lot of sriracha in there, and bean sprouts and stuff like that. So yeah, that was really really good. But yesterday I had a good lunch meeting with a friend of mine, and as I was coming home, I hit this monstrous pothole, right? And at first I thought I was okay, the car didn't shake and the wheels were fine. But then like my TPMS light came on, and I'm like, oh man, So by the time I come home, I got a little tiny bubble, and air is leaking out of my sidewall. So now I'm upset. I got an all-wheel drive vehicle, and I'm doing the research, and it turns out a lot of people don't even like the OEM tires that are on my car, Bridgestone Turanzas or whatever. They're all right. They felt pretty grippy to me. So I started doing research, and then I was like, oh, the dealership is gonna try to convince me to replace all 4 tires, and I got all these friends who are in the car business, and they're like, yeah, man, you got an all-wheel drive vehicle, you really need to make sure, all the tire depth is correct so you don't mess up your transfer case and all this stuff. And I'm like, oh man, So luckily I did find a shop in Philadelphia that had a full matching set of Pirelli tires. It was really cool. I got the Pirelli tires on, and it's a good. The dude in the shop, he posts all these tires on the OfferUp app. It's pretty cool, And in the OfferUp app, we were able to, connect. I love purchasing and selling things on OfferUp, and we're talking, and finally I go over to his shop. And I'm on run flats, and you can go 70, 80 miles an hour on the run flats. I don't recommend it, but the run flat got me there. Finally got there, and then as I was there, we're talking, and I was like, so do you make any commission from listing these tires online? And it was the second time this year, well, second time in the past 6 months. You know what they said? My commission is that I get to keep my job. And I was like, wow, enterprising young man listing all these tires on OfferUp and Craigslist and all that stuff. And his commission for helping his owner sell more tires is the privilege of keeping his job. And I was like, wow, man, this owner has it good, because this employee is generating income for him, and he's not even paying him commission. So we amount balance all four tires. 3 out of the 4 tires were totally fine, so I threw them in my trunk, and I'm saving them. I listed them already, also for sale, but I realized since I have a lease vehicle with a turn in, yo, Brian Hess, what's up? I had to turn in the vehicle in about 16 months. No, I had 24-month lease, on the vehicle. I do love the car, actually. It's a beautiful vehicle. But and then I realized I'm gonna have to turn it in with some decent tires. So I might just put the tires in dry storage and save them, and then just get a matching one. So yo, Brian, you in Pittsburgh? Where are you traveling today? Brian Hess is the concrete and pavement king of the United States, of the universe, a big time Pittsburgh Steelers fan, and a good guy. He's part of the mastermind that I'm a part of. Good father. He's got some beautiful kids and family and things like that. So yeah, it's just it's the Pants or No Pants live show, and the cell phone number is in the crawl. Anybody who wants to call in, we could talk about business, we could talk about 10x, mastermind. But yeah, so as I'm interviewing this young dude, a Jamaican guy, hardworking, enterprising, and then I'm like, yo, you got an Instagram? And he's using the Instagram of his shop. And again, I'm like, dude, you gotta own your brand, man. PJ Smith is all over the world, and he is in Florida this week, Illinois next week, and I don't use a lot of swear words, but he is nationally all over fixing stuff. But PJ does some MMA, and he's doing things, and these are Donald Trump's jeans. That's why these pants are so huge. It's the only free stock photo I could find. I'm a big believer in not ripping off photos. So, yeah, that's royalty free. Levi's, it's not 501 because 501 is buttonfly, right? I don't know what the other number would be, but these some Gap jeans right here. So, yeah. So, anyway, this young dude from Jamaica is working in this tire shop, and he's hustling more tires, and then his privilege is that he gets to keep his job, right? I'm like, wow, these owners got it good with these Jamaican employees. Man, the Jamaicans I know, they got ambition. They got a lot of ambition, and I'll be honest with you, they really be getting it. But this guy, and then I said, yo, what's your Instagram? So we're direct messaging, and then he's like, I use my store, my Instagram handle is my stores. And I'm like, well, what if you get fired? Or, what if something else happens, or the owner changes, like all this stuff. And then he's like, yeah, maybe I should get my own Instagram account. He's like, you should, because I'm following you. I'm buying tickets from you. Yo, Phil Ginto, PMG Construction. If you are in South Jersey and you want a monster kitchen done, or you want like a baller shower, like the ones where like the 16 water jets are spraying at you like presidential style, PMG Construction, Phil Ginto is the only guy you should be talking to. So hopefully Phil got addition or upgrade job for a lady in Deptford that we referred her. Their family's in our Taekwondo school, and Phil plays ice hockey. He plays at Expensive Sports, So, but Phil's a great guy. He really knows his stuff with the additions, and actually my sister's house had termite problems, and Phil did a great job with shoring up some of the support members and things like that. So Phil is extremely knowledgeable. He's his business is also in my BNI group. Then I get back in the car, I go get some pho, I come home, and and I've been studying like crazy right now. And the number one book that I've been studying is like absolutely blowing my mind. It's called Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson, right? And you just Google Russell Brunson, not Russell Branson or anything like that, but Russell Brunson. Man, he is showing me how to take the expert knowledge that I have and grow the business. How to present it, how to package it, how to put it together, how to put the offers together, and go to market, with the Claim Ninja business. Because at the end of the day, that's what I was really telling this young man at the tire shop. You gotta own your brand. The names that we've been given by our family members, by our parents, or like, the handles that we just started to come into. That's like God given to us. Yep, PJ, I am deeply studying ClickFunnels right now, and I'll be using it for a lot of different things, lead generation. But the Claim Ninja brand will be going forward on its own, and I'm just following step by step by step. All my buddies at Carnegie Mellon were in the computer programming game, but for me personally, I don't know, I'm not a programmer. So that's why I love ClickFunnels, because you don't need to program. You don't need to know HTML. My ninja skills are not in the computer programming part of the thing. I'm a connector of people. That's why I love BNI. I'm hopefully, as we grow the business, we can do some stuff, especially with some of the business that you're growing over there. Of course, let's send me a direct message if you are abandoning all the intellectual property related to Claim Ninjas. Let's definitely talk. Yes, I mean we gotta come up with a good price, or maybe I'll just take you out for some Korean barbecue or something like that. But yes, I'm willing to hear what a price you want for all the assets, for sure. All right, so let's talk about branding, right? Your name, who you are, what you do. That's all that matters, right? I have changed public adjustment companies multiple times in my life, but guess what? Everybody has my number, 609-707-2789. And, I got that phone number when I got a Nextel phone. That's how old I am. I had a Nextel, like, blididip, blididip, like, where you at, right? And then I just kept that number. And then my dad actually has a 609-707 number. And then my stepmom has a 609-707 number. So now I can't even get rid of that number. But the beautiful thing is, that cell phone number is in the phone books, the address books of so many people who have filed claims with me, and also family members and people. I planted so many seeds, right? And this business is not about being a sniper. It's about being a farmer. So when you watch these like Japanese movies about samurais and ninjas and all that stuff, when they're not out there killing, they're in the fields. They farmers. So when the Claim Ninja ain't killing, I'm a farmer, and I'm planting seeds for the future business. So yeah, is there a Facebook group so all 5 people with that phone can still connect? Yeah, well, Facebook.com/Claim Ninja or ClaimNinja.tv. But yeah, there's a lot of people with my phone number, and bill collectors and everybody like that. But yeah, we got all that cleared up. So yeah, so really, always think you and your name and the brand first. And me and Brian Hess joke around about this all the time. For a whole week, you should talk about yourself in the third person. Just get used to it. Have some fun with it. Yeah, PJ Smith wants some Korean barbecue tonight. PJ Smith wants this. Or Sammy Chan wants this. Oh, the Nextel. Oh man. Apparently Boost Mobile took over, and then after that it started to get into like Sprint bought it. When Sprint buys anything, they ruin it. So after Sprint bought Nextel, that was it. It just kind of died. So that's just what happened. But yeah, but there's an app. I forget. There's an Android app that has like a Nextel like function, but you know what it is. Oh, PJ Smith wants some pork belly. Yeah, yeah. So, you know, one thing I found is the most interaction I get on my Facebook groups or on my Facebook posts. It's about food, or it's about my mother-in-law, or I'm talking about pants or no pants or something embarrassing, and also any pictures of my children, which, you know. All right, yo, Brian, pick up the phone. Let's talk, man. We'll definitely do it. Brian is creating a awesome general contractors training program in Lightspeed VT. You know, you're thinking about dialing to help me out here. I'm like dying on the vine here, trying to talk to myself and, you know, respond to these like Facebook comments. But yeah, I don't know how you know, Larry King and these people do it. But yeah, so Russell Brunson, this book, Expert Secrets, and you know, when I started reading the book, here's the main thing: the belief in myself that I am an expert worthy to present information to the general public. And the real question is there something you know more about than more than 95% of the general public? Is there? Because if there is, then you have an expert secret, an expert talent. There's a girl on Instagram that makes $100,000 a year teaching people how to twerk with her big bubble butt. Alright, let's see who it is. Hey, Brian. How you doing, man?
What's up, brother? What's up?
Hey, I appreciate you calling in. Yeah, so I was talking about the expert secret, and I was saying there's a girl that makes $100,000 a year teaching people how to twerk on YouTube, and I know I'm like trying to get out of my own way to, you know, build out my expert secret program, you know. And
you trying to learn how to twerk, Sammy?
No. I don't have the bulbousness to really be successful with teaching people how to twerk. That, you know, that's not my thing. You know, I wasn't blessed with that kind of genetics. So
I understand, man. Me either. Yeah. I'm gonna stick to sales and leadership and business. And leave the twerking to somebody else.
Yeah. So, you know, I've been absorbing Russell Brunson, and you know, and I was saying when I first started the book, I wasn't 100% sold on myself as the expert. But you know, right about the middle, you know, I'm having this my own epiphany, right? This aha moment where I'm like, dude, yeah, I believe. You know, I see it. You know, and so it's really been awesome. You know, talk to me about how, you know, how your journey has been in terms of essentially transforming your identity to more purity of who you want to be and what you feel like your duty is.
Yeah, no, it's funny you say that. I was just commenting on Jason Daniels' live video from earlier. He did a really great presentation. If anybody out there knows Jason, go check it out on his Facebook page today. And I talked about, you know, how the closer you get to who you are, closer you get to your core mission and your true purpose, just the faster and easier things get in life. And Jason said something in his presentation along the lines of, you know, most people, if you don't ever turn down the noise in your life, you'll never be able to hear your calling. Yeah. And for me, I think that journey literally, man, just took a lot of, like, you know, stepping out of what my normal routine was and what everybody else was doing around me, and really focusing on, you know, just getting down to business and focusing on myself to be able to take it to the next level. You know, I've always been a top performer, but I think that, you know, going from, you know, being in the minor leagues to the major leagues, it takes a lot of detail and a lot of working on yourself and a lot of self-analysis and reading and studying and, you know, exactly, I think what, you know, a lot of people that roll in the same group as us do. And, you know, but it takes time. It's like, you know, you're growing a lot of roots underground before you sprout out. And, you know, at the point when you get all of that knowledge into you, man, you start realizing, like you said, the light bulb goes off and you realize, you know, what you really are an expert at.
Right.
And once you find it, it's hard to contain it, right? It's hard to shut it off, and it's hard to think about anything else. It's about building your life around what you can give back to other people, right? And so for the two of us being fathers and husbands and all of that stuff, I think that's the most important part for me, is being able to build a life that's fantastic for my kids. And somebody said at 10X, man, when you leave this planet, you want to make sure that generations to come remember you.
Yeah.
And that stuck with me. It's like, you want to leave your mark, like in a way that can't be forgotten. And for me, that's the path that I'm on, and that's what I'm working towards is getting to that point where I use my unstoppable skills to help as many people as I possibly can.
Yeah, that's been awesome, to see you go through the progression, and it's gonna be so exciting to see more of those things come to pass in your life and in your business. And just as personally, guys are making transition, or people on our team and people around us and people from 10X are making transitions to becoming more of the person they want to be. The people around you aren't doubting you. They're more like, I've been waiting for you to step out, dude. Like, you're the one that hasn't believed, and we just been waiting for you to become the boss that you're supposed to be. And it's so encouraging, because then you're kind of like, yeah, why was I so scared? Like, I just
It's funny, man. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were talking about like how they got off track. Well, it was one of my closest friends, and how he got off track in his life. And he had actually, I might have told you this the other day on the phone. He showed me a job offer that he had, from way back when, and he used to, make a bunch of money, and he ended up going, hitting some adversity in life, and he had a job offer that somebody gave him that was like, $50,000, and he was like, I thought to myself, how did I get to this point? And I said, I can answer that question for you, man. You started believing what other people were telling you.
Yeah.
Or what other people were trying to put in your brain, instead of knowing at the core of yourself who you are and what you were doing. And it's easy, man, because there's a lot of people in the world that are trying to drag you back down to being average,
Yeah.
They just want you to be at wing night with them, or out kickers, or doing the things that we used to do, way back in our 20s or in college,
Right.
And that's the hardest transition, man. Is it's like, because not a lot of people in your life really understand it, and so you go through that transition of kind of separating yourself. It's not that you lose friends; it's just that you don't see them as often, or some of them you do lose because they get pissed off or angry, and they don't like the fact that you're changing, and that's just something you got to get comfortable with.
Yeah, I think about my dad, because I just met with him yesterday. I dropped off a Philadelphia Eagles hat that we ordered for him, and my dad has said this multiple times, and maybe it's an Asian culture thing, or maybe it's not, but it's like, I didn't want to see you go through tough things, because I didn't want to see you suffer, right? And when I'm like, Dad, as a man, of course we don't want to do stupid things, like hard-headed things, because we're not listening. But as a man, we need to go through our origin story. Yes, you worked hard to provide a good life for us, and I'm thankful for that. But we need to find our own way, so that we can pass that on to our kids too. Make the next generation better, but it's not supposed to be easy. And the example that I'm setting for my kids, like, their ideas about what a career is supposed to be, their ideas about what freedom is supposed to be, their ideas about what a marriage is supposed to be, those are things that hopefully incrementally I can make one generation better than what I saw. Because there's certain things about my business, the way I do things, like some of the like, if I want a customer, I'm like unstoppable. I'm just gonna go get it, right? I learned that from my dad. Yeah, he barely spoke English,
Right.
and he's like closing deals with Procter and Gamble and like Clorox Corporation and stuff. You know, you don't. I mean, he's a mechanical engineer, and he's working in a TV repair shop when he first came to America. I was like, Dad, like that's the stuff that formed you. That's the stuff that you don't. You think like, oh, that part sucked. It's like, no, that's the greatness. That's the thing that made the greatness. So
Yeah,
yeah,
I think at 10X, man, Ed Milet said, you know, people say to him, you know, why don't you stop and smell the roses? And, you know, what you just said reminded me, it's like, this is the roses, man.
Yeah.
Like the adversity and the tough times and all of that stuff. And, you know, something I said to somebody last week is, you know, it's funny, we tend to run from adversity, right? Because we're taught that from a young age, right? What you just said, like, oh, don't do that, you're going to get hurt, or, you know, stop doing that, you might get hurt. And so we get this like run from fear thing built into us, and as an adult you have to you know, unwind that watch, because if you don't, you're going to run from things that make you great. You know, it's adversity that shapes you into being great. It's not the easy times. And you know, somebody else said today, you know, you really, man, until you get to like college, and even sometimes in college, if you have a pretty good brain, you're a pretty bright person, you can get through high school and college without that much effort or adversity.
Yeah.
And so you enter the world and you're like expecting it to be all sunshine and rainbows.
Right.
And the first, you know, shot you take in your early 20s, you're like, man, what's going on? You know, what is this all about? And you don't know how to deal with it. And a lot of people crumble because they're not prepared for it. That's, you know, you make a good point about, and honestly, man, that's why I'm doing everything I'm doing in my life, is I want to show my kids what's possible.
Yeah.
Not what's easy, not what's comfortable, but what's possible. And I want to get every ounce of orange juice out of this orange that is me that I can. I want to get as close to my potential as I possibly can, and, you know, try to do everything in my power to show them, you know, how far you can go. And, you know, same thing as me, man. My dad was a steel worker, hard working, blue collar guy. And, you know, I was next to him pouring concrete at 7, 8 years old. And, you know, that work ethic and that background and that grit, you know, it doesn't leave you, you know, and that's where the value comes in your life. It's like those things you don't even realize you saw and learned when you were a kid come back to benefit you tenfold when you're an adult.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you harness that with a coach. And sometimes the coach is speaking to you through the book, and you just need to not deviate from what the solid training is. But then also, you know, we talked about this concept is consider yourself in a brick wall. We got bricks on the left and right of us, and those are like our peers and like other business owners and people that are on the same path. And then we have the seniors. Those are like our coaches who have built multi-million-dollar companies, and they're pouring their life experience into us. And then we have the juniors as well that we're investing our time and energy into, which was why it was so refreshing to be at 10X. Like, at a part of me, I saw like some of these like 21-year-old, 22-year-old young bucks that were there, like gaining all this knowledge, going, dude, if I had this stuff when I was 21, like
agreed, man. The jealousy I had from those young kids, I was like, man, if I could get those 17 years back, right? What I would do. But you know, it's a different time, man, and that's the one thing that I try to tell everybody that, you know, comes to me and says, how can I get there? How can I get on the right track? We live in a time, man, where everything is available to you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it is, you know, the amount of information that you can get to improve your own life for free, if you want to go search it out, is unmatched. You could never run out of free information.
Yeah, it's all on YouTube.
If you wanted to.
It's all on YouTube right now. 100%.
Yep. The only thing you're doing by buying a platform or something like that is you're investing, you're making an investment in yourself, and you're making it more structured and easy on yourself to get it, right?
Yeah.
And so your time becomes valuable, and that's why you invest the money. But it is out there 100% for free if you want to put the work in to get it.
Yeah, and you know, in Expert Secrets, Russell Brunson said this again, which was so powerful, was, look, you could buy all my programs, watch all the videos, but if you don't share your expert knowledge with the world, you're not going to grow, because your students are going to pull it out of you more, and it's going to push you to go learn more, right? And that was such a cool thing, because, you know, and I think about ministry, it's like, yeah, we can just go to church and get fed and feel all good about ourselves. You know what? We need to do ministry. We need to invest. You know, we need to share what we have. And definitely, you know, the feeling of like, hey, all this good stuff that we're doing, yes, it is to also improve the quality of our life and leave security for our family and our kids. But the bigger goals are investing in others, helping someone else achieve some serious transformation. And, you know, in some sense, it could be like, yeah, see that dude over there killing it in that space? There's a part of what I did to be a part. Now, you don't take credit for all of it, because they put in the work. But there's a part of you that knows that there was an investment into that young person.
Absolutely.
You know, so.
Absolutely, man. This year I spent, this past year I went to Minneapolis, Wisconsin, and, you know, I work with a new team up there, and one of the guys, you know, quadrupled what he ever sold in a year.
Yeah.
And there just is no better feeling, man, than watching somebody's life transform and being a part of that. And that, you know, I'm addicted to it, man. That is for me, that is my calling, is, you know, I can control my own life by, you know, having 20 years of sales experience and being able to close deals and negotiate and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, my true passion and what gets me going the most is watching other people's lives just change right in front of your face, and, you know, watching how it impacts their family and how, you know, they just change completely as a person when you show them that a better version of themselves is inside there.
100%.
And, you know, they gain this confidence. And, you know, one of the things that I coach all the time is, like, I try to prepare people for the success, because sometimes people don't know how to handle that. Right?
Yeah.
They get the success, and then they're like, you know, they're making demands, or they're changing kind of who they are based on that success. And it's like, man, no, you got to be prepared to be humble and appreciative and thankful, and, you know, and then your duty at that point is to do the same thing. And so that, for me, it's like, if I can help 100 people, and those 100 people help 100 people each, you know, what is the impact? You know, I always say, and you'll see me comment a lot on Facebook, let's change the world. And because you really can. Like, it's not unreasonable to say it, because, you know, if we all help 100 people each, and those people help 100 people each, multiply it out.
Right.
You know, you can impact the world. And that is just my way of thinking. And every day I get up trying to make a difference. And that's, you know, in my own life, and especially in the lives of the people that are around me and that I communicate with on a daily, weekly basis. So
yeah. So earlier today, one of the guys posted in the 10X GrowthCon official, he goes, any of you guys feel a little bit lonely with the people you're living in close proximity with, because none of them are operating in this 10X mindset? Because honestly, for him, he has almost like everybody around him is pretty much telling him, like, dude, you're like weird. Like, you know, Grant Cardone,
you're crazy.
is into like Scientology. Like, what the heck is going on with you? And, you know, like, yeah, like, you know what, I'll keep the meat and spit out the bones with the Scientology part. But you know what, like, it's just circumstances in your life where you are now hanging out with other people, vibrating at this level. And honestly, like, if the people around you are not, it's just a part of life, you know. And if they accept you the way that you are, cool. But if they're trying to attack you or bring you down, then you just gotta, you know, you gotta do your thing, you know. So
yeah, and that's the hardest part, man. If I think back to my 20s, that probably happened to me.
Yeah.
Right, where I was the person thinking differently, and there wasn't this type of community for me to kind of attach to. There was no social media then.
Right.
There was no, there was no way to network and find those people easily. I didn't have the right people in my life pushing, and I was working in corporate America where this
Right.
this kind of mindset isn't really encouraged there.
No,
because,
I mean, you get
because
fired.
they know that those people will leave, right?
Yeah.
They're either going to leave or get fired, right? And so, I can remember that, and so I relate to these guys and girls that are, younger in their 20s, and they feel like, man, if I give up all my friends, what am I going to do?
Right.
Yeah. They don't realize what they're going to do if they give up all their friends is change the world.
Right. Yeah, and just with like the recent transitions of what's going on with me personally, I've been thinking, okay, I was in the computer field, for 4 years, and then I was running my the cash and carry for like 3 or 4 years, and then I did the realtor thing for like 2 years, and then I did the Korean barbecue thing for like 8 years, and then I did the public adjustment thing with one company for 2 years, 1 year, right? Some people could look at that and go, this guy just don't like staying in one place. There's something unstable about him, right? And, I'll just say, look, man, I'll own it. Because when I go somewhere, I flesh it all out. And if it's a place that I cannot be happy, I'm not just going to like smile and grin and bear it. That's just not who I am. My first job, I remember I was in a meeting at UPS corporate headquarters, and they're talking about something, and I said, that's the dumbest idea I've ever heard, right? And the manager of my group looked at me like, you want to get us all fired? And, and they kind of stopped and like, well, what do you mean by that? And I actually broke it down, like legit broke it down for them, and kind of saved the thing. But they pulled me aside later, and they're like, look, I know you came from a good school, and but you can't do that, and then like 8 months later, I stopped working on that engagement because I was just like, I'm not fitting in this thing, and then
well, I compare that, man, to, honestly, I compare that to, kids in school today, and they're like, oh, he's too he's too hyper. He's too hyper. He needs, some sort of. The child is most likely functioning at a higher level than what somebody can understand.
Right.
And so if a child is bored, they start to get antsy, right?
Yeah.
And so that's, I believe, knowing you for the short time that I've known you here, but I feel like I know you pretty well. And same thing for me. It's like when you get in this situation, man. Your ultimate purpose and your ultimate, what you were supposed to do was to do it yourself anyway.
Yeah.
And that's why it's hard for you to fit into places, because I don't have a very dissimilar story to yours, right? It is, it's very similar because you get into places, and honestly, a lot of companies, man, you can rise to the top and you literally hit your ceiling of what you could do in a short period of time.
Yeah.
So it's not, it's not necessarily all on you. And I think that, when people sit down and talk to you or talk to me, they figure out that, there's probably more to the story.
Yeah.
But listen, man, I got to jump off of here because I got a call with the guys from the Home of the Hustle. But I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
Good
I appreciate the call.
As always.
All right. Have a great weekend. Have a good
I'll
day
talk
tomorrow.
to you.
All right. Bye.
You too, man. Bye-bye.
All right, bye. Yeah, so that was Brian Hess. He's part of my mastermind group. Good guy. He's in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Hardcore black and gold. But yeah, just great to have other young men, family people that are running businesses and operating with a similar mindset, and that's really the key. If you're in a place where you feel like I am alone, there is like nobody else. First thing is, man, look for communities on Facebook, but just try not to isolate yourself. Connect. and and just keep throwing it out there. Connect on Twitter. Connect on hashtags that are right for you. So one of the other books I'm reading right now is Crushing It by Gary Vee. And he's one of the reasons why I'm even trying to do this live call-in show. And I'm like on here for 44 minutes and I got like 17 comments and a couple likes. And, it's just, this first live call-in show, it's going to be the suckiest one I ever do. But you just got to get past it, right? I mean, I'm going to keep it real. After I got married and, we consummated the marriage, that first time me and my wife had relations, it was not going to be that good. You're not an expert in it yet, but you just get past it, and then you get better and better. So the graphics will get better. Maybe the telephone handling will get better. The commenting will get better. The audience, finding the voice will get better, right? So, post in the comments, ask questions. But yeah, like I've had so many career changes since I've graduated college, and it doesn't bother me anymore. And the cycle time, sometimes it took 8 years, sometimes it took 2 years, sometimes it took 5 years, sometimes it took 1 year. I own the fact that I go through and I figure things out, and if it's not the right place for me, then I'm just gonna make a decision. It is what it is. I'm not gonna just try to fit in. Because it's just not who I am. That's not why I've been put on this earth, to be the guy who fits in and makes other people feel comfortable. That's not my place. So let's go back to Gary Vee. Gary Vee's talking about crushing it, right? And that's why I do Facebook Live every single day. And all my friends who are in different businesses, every time I talk to them, I'll tell you right now, yo, why aren't you doing Facebook Live every day? 4 or 5 minutes. That's all it takes. You're a certified financial advisor. You're this type of attorney. Yo, Justin, Justin works for Twitch, right? He's like the ninja of making esports go without hiccups, man. And him and his buddies from college used to come and eat at my restaurant in Cherry Hill, and I'm so excited to see him all over the planet, going to all these esports events, killing it, And somebody's Facebook messaging me. But yeah, so Justin, man, keep on doing your thing at Twitch. I am beyond my prime. Unless they open like a senior division in esports, I'll probably just never get good at that. But yeah, so just cool to see people. Just always check in on post in the comments where you're checking in from. But yeah. So Gary Vaynerchuk, so Facebook Live shows, who's watching? Right now, I only got a couple viewers, but this is the first show ever, and the first show is always the worst show. But the good thing is I don't need to earn a pilot to get a renewal. This Facebook Live, I just go live tomorrow or go live next week and figure it out. But yeah, I have a regular channel on facebook.com/claimninja. And I do insurance tips every day. Sexy insurance tips to help people save money and not get screwed by the insurance company. So that's what I do over there. And so Gary Vee, he owned a liquor store with his dad, and every day he started to do a video about wine. Reviewing wine, explaining them how to pair this wine with this food, and explaining why you think this wine is expensive and why you think it tastes like dirt. All this cool stuff. Sharing. And then the thing is, they don't have to buy the wine from him. But then they start doing it. They start buying from him because he's the expert. He's the authority. So really, with Claim Ninja, that's the goal. Just share value and almost in a sense give away the information. So then other people think like, well, that's scary, giving away all your expert secrets in Facebook Live. Like what if they don't hire you? I'm okay if they don't hire me, because somebody's going to be like, I could watch his videos and learn what I need to do, but I'm pretty convinced that this guy's the man. I'm going to hire him for my damage. So that's just a big part of it. So if you are trying to grow a business, you're trying to grow a social media following, if you're trying to really just find financial freedom, check out, get that book on Amazon Kindle, like right now. Gary Vee Crushing It. And then if you are interested in getting Russell Brunson's books for Expert Secrets and .com Secrets, send me a direct message, because I have a link where you can purchase it and you can get a 2-book bundle discount and the audio book and everything sent to you, but the electronic delivery of the expert stuff. And I tell you, these books, they really, really, really teach you how to become an excellent storyteller. And that's really the key, right? Is, can you convey your message with powerful, powerful stories? So, so that's really, what's going on with Gary Vee, going through his recommendations and learning, like, this is good for Facebook. This is good for YouTube. This is awesome. This is how you grow on Instagram. This is how you grow on Twitter, right? Learning all these things from experts of social media is really cool, and then to really study the people who are crushing it, so I'm so thankful that I'm getting really back into reading more books and training, and and I posted this on my Facebook earlier today. Audiobooks for me is everything. If I have to read a physical book and turn the pages, I fall asleep. It's very, very difficult. But man, audiobooks, audio training, video training, it's just like Neo in the Matrix, just like feeding all this information into my brain. And so I'm just I guess I'm an auditory learner. It is what it is, So yeah, and really the question is, am I wearing pants or am I not wearing pants, right? Because now I can just have the comfort of my home office and my green screen, today I am wearing pants, so don't worry. I'm not sitting here in my my knickers. I guess that's what they call it in Britain, or sitting here in my skivvies. I'm wearing my pants today for today's show. So I appreciate everybody that came on. Brian Hess. I'll share some social, connect with Brian Hess. Phil Ginto, PJ Smith was commenting. We'll definitely make sure we connect with him as well. And stay tuned. This live call-in show, we'll figure out when we're gonna do it on a regular basis every week. But yeah, everybody have a good night. Thank you.